You're not a late person. That story you tell yourself that you're just wired this way is the exact thing keeping you late. Every time you run late, you grab the loudest reason around. The traffic, the missing keys, you call that the cause. By the end of this, you'll find the real one 2 levels underneath, the one you can fix. You're late, someone asks why, you say traffic was brutal. True, also useless. That reason explains one morning and predicts nothing, so you fix nothing and repeat it next week. So take your last 3 late arrivals and write the surface reason for each. Couldn't find your badge, the call ran long, you left too late. Get it on paper. That's what you climb off of to see the truth. Now, lay those 3 reasons side by side and find the word that keeps showing up. Say every Tuesday you're late to the same spot, and every time you blame the traffic by the school. Look closer. It's Tuesday. It's 9 in the morning, and that traffic shows up at the same hour every week. The bad luck was a schedule you kept forgetting. Write your pattern as a sentence starting with I always, and this is the part that should change how you see yourself. Picture a game where 3 people run a supply chain and it always collapses. Shortages, then piles of waste, every time. So you swap in 3 new people, same roles, same chaos. The people were never the problem. The setup was, so the level that matters sits under the pattern. Why do you always start one more task? Maybe nothing marks the moment to stop, so the time before you leave feels endless. Why do you lose your keys? They have no home, so every exit is a search. For your repeating cause, ask what setup makes this happen and answer starting with because. You might think that's the finish line. It isn't. There's one move that proves it, and it's embarrassingly simple. Take that setup, the keyless hallway, the unmarked window, the drive you planned for a perfect day, and drop your most punctual friend into it. Would they be late too? If yes, you just proved it was never your character. You don't have a late personality. You have a late system, and a system is something you can take apart. So that's the method. 1. Write the surface reason for your last 3 late mornings. 2. Find the word that repeats. 3. Ask what setup produces it, then run the friend test. Do the first step tonight. 3 late arrivals, 1 honest line each. The day you stop asking what's wrong with me and start asking what's wrong with my setup is the day being early becomes possible. You're planning the most important 15 minutes of your day using a number you completely made up. Ask yourself how long it takes to get ready and out the door. You've got a number. 20 minutes maybe. That's not a measurement. It's a hopeful memory of a good morning. And you plan every day around it. By the end of this, you'll know your real number and where your mornings actually disappear. Here's why the guess is always wrong. While you're getting ready, your attention is on the shirt, the coffee, the half-answered text. Nobody's watching the clock. So a morning you never measured becomes a memory you can't trust. The fix is simple. For 1 week, keep a scrap of paper by the door with 4 columns. When you plan to leave, when you actually crossed the threshold, why there was a gap, and when you arrived. The rule that makes it work. Write the real time the second you step out, never from memory that night. Track the leaving, not the arriving. Most people record when they showed up, but by then, the cause is long out of sight. The doorway is where it breaks. Picture someone sure it's all traffic. They keep the log for a week, and the Y column reads badge, phone, coffee, phone, outfit. Traffic never shows up. Their mornings fell apart inside the house, before the car. Write each cause in 3 flat words. No defending yourself. You're a recorder, not a judge. 1 catch, and it's a sneaky one. Use a watch or that scrap of paper for the time, never your phone. For most people, the phone isn't just the clock. It's the number 1 reason they're late. Measure with the thing that causes the problem, and checking the time becomes the delay. A cheap watch breaks that loop. You might think the log just tells you that you were late. It does much more. At the end of the week, read that Y column straight down and hunt for the word that repeats. That repeated word is your real cause, in your own handwriting. Not a vague feeling that you're bad with time. Proof. The week it says phone 4 times, you don't need a lecture. You need to move your phone. Tonight, draw 4 columns on a scrap of paper and set it by the door, because you can't fix a problem you've only ever guessed at. The one you finally measure, you can beat. Every time you're a few minutes late, you're quietly spending something you can't see. And one day, without warning, the account is empty. To you, 5 minutes late is nothing. To the person waiting, it's a message about whose time matters more. Say that enough times and the trust just runs out. So, let's build one you can actually keep. An appointment isn't a slot in your calendar, it's a promise. And trust works like a bank account. Show up when you said, that's a deposit. Roll in late, even with an apology, that's a withdrawal. Each lateness gets forgiven, so you never watch the balance drop. Then, one day it's gone, and you're baffled. It wasn't one morning. It was the pattern. You've been promising the wrong moment. You cannot promise to arrive. Traffic, parking, elevators, and delays aren't yours to control, but the moment you walk out, that your door is. So, promise that instead. For your next commitment, don't write down when it starts. Write down when you have to leave. Your 9 o'clock across town isn't a 9 o'clock. It's an 8:20, the minute the door has to close. That 8:20 is the promise. The promise gets broken in one tiny instant. The clock hits your leave time, and a little voice says, I still have time. That's where you lose. Replace it with one question. What can I do right now to make leaving easier? Then, do that one thing. Shoes on, bag by the door. You don't have to be perfectly ready. You just have to leave. Go, even if you're unfinished, then finish the rest with the time you gain by arriving early. Slightly unfinished and on time beats perfect and late, every time. Treat the departure, not the arrival, as the real appointment. Ban the words, I still have time. Leave imperfect. Take your next appointment and write down the minute you have to leave. Being on time was never about the clock. It's about being someone people count on. You can plan the entire drive perfectly and still show up late because the drive was never the thing making you late. The real culprit is a stretch of time you've never counted. Find it, and you can finally build a departure time you trust. Start by flipping your planning around. Don't count forward from now. Start at the arrival and work backward. Decide to arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. Subtract each real step, the walk-in, the drive, and getting ready, broken into its actual parts instead of one hopeful estimate. When you reach the minute the door has to close, write it down. Your trip doesn't end when the car stops. It ends when you're in the chair. Count the parking, payment, walk, elevator, and finding the right room. Plan all the way to the chair. Use your normal drive time, not the one perfect trip with every green light. Most late people instinctively cut their buffer to feel efficient. That's backwards. One missing key or slow light can wreck the whole morning. A buffer isn't wasted time. It's a shock absorber that absorbs everyday delays. Now add the transition tax. It's the invisible work of leaving. Stopping what you're doing, using the bathroom, gathering your things, putting on shoes, locking the door, and walking to the car. Each step is small. Together, they often take 10 to 20 minutes. That's the gap between I should leave and I'm actually moving. Budget for it every time. So arrive early and build your plan backward. Plan all the way to the chair. Keep your buffer. Add the transition tax. Tonight, reverse engineer your next appointment on paper all the way back to the minute you leave. A departure time you invent is a wish. A departure time you calculate is a promise you can keep. Your ability to focus, the thing you're proudest of, is one of the biggest reasons you're late. Drop into deep work or a deep scroll, and your sense of time quietly switches off. You look up shocked that it's 40 minutes past when you meant to leave. By the end of this, you'll know how to focus completely and still walk out on time. When you're truly absorbed, every bit of attention stays on the task. There's none left to watch the clock or remember where you're due. Time slips away, and an hour feels like 10 minutes. That's not a flaw. It's what deep focus does. Name your 2 danger zones, deep work and endless scrolling. Near anything you can't be late for, treat both as clock killers. The fix isn't less focus. Focus is a gift. The problem was never the focus. It's the exit. While you're absorbed, you can't reliably watch the time. The signal has to come from outside your head. That means an alarm. Set it for your stop time, not your leave time. If the door closes at 8:15 and leaving takes 15 minutes, the alarm rings at 8 o'clock. Set it for the door time, and it only tells you that you're already late. The endless feed does the same thing on purpose. It dissolves your sense of time and gives you almost nothing back. Treat it with the same caution as deep work. An alarm alone isn't enough. If you answer it with one more minute, nothing changes. Motion breaks deep focus better than thought. When the alarm rings, stand up and step away from the screen. Decide in advance that the alarm doesn't mean notice the time. It means your body moves. Deep focus can coexist with punctuality. Put the cue outside your head, set it for your stop time, and stand up when it rings. Before your next deep session, set one loud alarm and promise yourself you'll rise when it sounds. The alarm went off exactly when it was supposed to, and you were still late. A reminder that tells you the time was never the problem. You need an alarm that moves your body before your brain starts arguing. Most alarms only announce a fact, like meeting soon or leave in 10. Facts leave room for debate. Change the label to an action instead. Put your shoes on, pick up your bag, walk out the door. Don't rely on one alarm. Leaving has 2 stages, stop and go. Use 2 different sounds. The first means stop what you're doing. The second means the door right now. That second alarm is your point of no return. The real change happens the night before. Stop making the decision when you're rushed. Write one simple if-then rule. If the leave alarm rings, I stand up, close the laptop, and put my shoes on. Morning becomes execution instead of negotiation. One final improvement makes this much harder to ignore. Put the leave alarm on a small clock by the front door, not on your phone. To silence it, you have to walk to the exit. By the time you reach it, you are already standing with your shoes, coat, and keys. Turning off the alarm becomes the act of leaving. Label the alarm with the action, not the fact. Use 2 alarms for stop and go. Decide your if-then rule tonight. Put the leave alarm by the door. Being on time isn't about wanting it more. It's about making the decision once while it's easy, so your morning has nothing left to argue with. You're ready. You've got 10 minutes to spare, so you start one quick thing. That's the exact moment you lose. The last half hour before you leave feels like the safest part of your morning. It's actually where most lateness is born. Learn to protect it, and leaving on time stops being a fight. Every new task you begin in that window is another chance to run long. The quick email, the dishes, the counter you could wipe. Each one looks like 5 minutes and quietly becomes 20. The rule isn't do it faster. It's start nothing new. That final window has one job, getting you out the door. Standing around with nothing to do feels uncomfortable, so your mind reaches for the nearest task. Don't fight that feeling with willpower. Give your attention something safe instead. Watch a countdown. Look out the window. Enjoy a small treat you saved for that moment. The last 10 minutes have their own enemy. Decisions. Remove them by following the same sequence every time. Bathroom, shoes, coat, bag, keys, door. Once it begins, don't negotiate. Just follow the order. A wall clock invites false confidence. You glance at it, think you have time, and start something new. A countdown does the opposite. The number keeps shrinking, making the remaining time obvious. Trust the countdown, not the feeling that you have plenty of time. Before you leave, check just 5 things: phone, wallet, keys, bag, leave. Keep the list short so it helps instead of slowing you down. Protect the final 30 minutes. Start nothing new. Follow your sequence. Watch a countdown. Check your 5 things. Tonight, write your sequence and your 5-word list. You don't win the morning by moving faster. You win it by protecting the last half hour. You can make leaving on time almost automatic, with almost no willpower, by changing your house instead of yourself. Under pressure, you don't rise to your good intentions. You fall to whatever your environment makes easiest. Change the room, and leaving on time becomes the default. When you're tired, rushed, or distracted, willpower usually loses. The better solution is to redesign your surroundings. Instead of promising to try harder tomorrow, change one thing in the room today. Start with a launch pad. Give your keys, wallet, badge, bag, charger, and other essentials one permanent home beside the door. The important habit isn't grabbing them before you leave. It's returning them the moment you get home. When everything has a home, the morning search disappears. Next, move work from the morning into the night before. Pack your bag. Lay out tomorrow's clothes, fill your water bottle, create a simple departure uniform so getting dressed doesn't become another decision. Now make your delays harder. If your phone keeps stealing your attention, put it across the room or in a drawer while you get ready. Add a little friction to distractions and remove friction from leaving. Here's the surprising part. Most people imagine a successful morning as an exciting last-minute save. It's the opposite. A good morning is boring. Your keys are exactly where they should be. Your bag is packed, you simply walk out the door without drama, so stop trying to become more disciplined. Build better defaults instead. Create a launch pad. Prepare the night before. Make distractions harder to reach. Tonight, choose one place by the door and pack tomorrow's bag. You don't win the morning by wanting it more. You win it by designing a room that quietly sends you out on time. Why does arriving early make you feel worse instead of better? You get there with time to spare, yet it feels like you've wasted those minutes. That feeling quietly trains you to cut it closer next time. The fix isn't forcing a better attitude. It's giving those minutes a purpose you genuinely enjoy. When early feels like a loss, your brain starts trimming your safety margin. Little by little, every buffer disappears. Instead, reserve one enjoyable activity for early arrival only. A favorite podcast, an audiobook, a great coffee, or a book you look forward to. The key is exclusivity. You only get it when you arrive early. Those extra minutes stop feeling empty and become something you earn. You're no longer waiting. You're enjoying protected time. Choose carefully. Don't make your reward endless scrolling. It briefly distracts you, then often makes you late for the very thing you arrived early to attend. Pick something that leaves you calmer, not more distracted. Once early becomes rewarding, everything changes. You protect your buffer because protecting it means protecting the part of your day you enjoy most. The reward keeps the habit alive from the inside. One final step makes it even stronger. Tell one person the time you're leaving, then send a quick "leaving now" message the moment you walk out the door. A promise someone else hears is harder to break, and the message makes the departure feel real. Reserve one reward for early arrival. Keep it off your phone. Say your leave time out loud and send your "leaving now" message. Early was never wasted time. It's protected time, and once it becomes the best part of your day, being on time starts feeling natural. The day you decide you've finally fixed your lateness is the day it quietly starts sneaking back. Life changes. New jobs, new commutes, new responsibilities, and changing routines slowly pull your system out of alignment. Nothing breaks all at once. It drifts. The solution isn't another productivity trick. It's a system that notices its own drift. Put a short review on your calendar once a week. Look at your real departures. Were you early, on time, or late? One late morning is noise. A repeated cause is a signal. When you spot the same problem twice, make one small adjustment exactly where it happens. Move your launch pad, increase your buffer, update an outdated travel estimate. Small corrections keep the whole system working. When you slip, don't tell yourself you're simply a late person. That's the old story returning. Your character isn't broken. Your system just needs a small adjustment. Most lasting problems come from stale assumptions that were once true but no longer fit your life. You're rarely rebuilding everything. You're turning one small screw. Don't trust your memory alone. It usually says everything was fine until suddenly it wasn't. Review your actual record instead. Over time, these tiny adjustments don't just maintain your system, they improve it. You didn't become a different person by trying harder. You built a system, and the system shaped your behavior. Schedule 5 minutes every week. Find the repeated cause. Apply one small fix. Improve the setup instead of blaming yourself. You were never destined to be late. You simply needed a system that keeps improving with you